Somebody needs to turn Reading around, and it is certainly not going to be Ruben Selles, starting in League One on -4 points, only off the bottom of the table, because Wigan are on -8 points. We are taking over the Royals in an attempt to try and get them back to the Championship, and hopefully back to the Premier League. That one might be a bit too much of an ask. We're going to do about 4 or 5 seasons. So here we are then, we have taken over Reading and we have kicked out Ruben Selles, which as a Southampton fan, it's still, he shouldn't have been appointed in the first place. Anyway, doesn't matter, that's real life. This is fictional world. What are our plans for Reading? Now financially they don't look like they're in a particularly bad way, however, they're not in a particularly good way either. We have 0 transfer budget, we are spending all of our wage budget, and we've got a reasonable squad. If we sort by ability, we've got some pretty decent players. We've got some players on loan from various clubs. We've got Mukiaru, probably not his name, from Copenhagen, who's actually pretty good. We've got Don Ballard on loan from Southampton, who, if I'm perfectly honest, he should be playing more games for Reading in real life. He comes off the bench and starts occasionally, and he's like their joint top goal scorer. It's ridiculous. He should start more games. So my objective early doors is to basically try and trim down the wage bill, because we've got some very high earners. We've got a couple of injuries as well. Ajari, I think, is out for quite a while, 5 to 7 months. Sam Smith, 3 to 4 months. Both of our top earners getting injured, missing the entire season or half the season. We've got Harley Dean on too much money. I probably won't even play Harley Dean either, because I want to try and bring in some of the youngsters, because that is ultimately going to be the goal of this save, is we're going to fix Reading with children. Not straight away, obviously, but we are going to start to try and bring in some players who have been released from Premier League clubs after the first season and so on, and try and use those to either build up the squad in terms of ability, or try and sell them on for decent fees when we pick them up on free transfer, sell them on for, say, £1 million, 50% sell-ons, things like that, to try and turn Reading into, first of all, financial security, and secondly, I think a championship side after 4 seasons, a decent championship side pushing for the Premier League, isn't too far of an ask. But the first ask is obviously trying to deal with this -4 points deduction at the start of the season, which in real life, at the time of recording this, I think Reading would be 23rd even without that points deduction. So yeah, it's not a good start, is it? We are going to go through the entirety of pre-season and the first few games of the season as well. We're going to return on the 2nd of September. We're going to play Cambridge on camera, but we're also going to have a lot of transfers to talk about, because I'm doing some plans. There's a lot of plans in the works. Right, okay, I've got a confession to make. Yes, Lewis Grabban is an old man. He's 35 years of age. Will be 36 come the end of the season, but hear me out. He's only here for a year, and he's good at football, okay? He's come in on a free transfer. I don't know, has he been released by Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia, or did he just never go there? I don't know what's happened, but yeah, he went there, and then he's immediately left. So yeah, Lewis Grabban has basically joined us for the season because we don't have a huge amount of experience. He's one of 5 new players to join. We've also loaned in Azim Abdullahi from Swansea, who I think is actually going to be very, very good. We're going to be playing 2 defensive midfielders, and we don't have a huge amount of players who can play in that role. Abdullahi is good. He's young. I don't know whether there's an option to buy. I don't think there is an option to buy. There isn't. But maybe we can kind of keep an eye out on Abdullahi. Maybe bring him in next season if he's available. One who's most definitely for the future is Femi Olifanjana, who is formerly of West Brom. I think he's on a free transfer at the start of the game, but we brought him in and then immediately loaned him out to Maidenhead. I'm not expecting huge amounts from him. This is the type of player that I want to bring in and then maybe sell in a year or two's time for £1 million once he gets a little bit better. Still only 18. If you watch Zealand's video, you will probably know who this man is. Raphael Leai, the Solomon Islander, 19 years of age, 10 caps with 7 goals to his name. He scored 80 goals in 43 appearances for Henderson Eels. He's available on a free transfer at the start of my save. So I went, you know what, let's go for it. Let's hope that Football Manager assumes he is going to have a bit of potential. I'm not expecting him to turn into the next Leo Messi, but if he can turn into the next, I don't know, Nathan Redmond, I'll take that. And finally, Nnamdi Ofabora, who is a former Bournemouth and Wickham man. I think this is a very good signing. He's also formerly of Rangers, but he never seemed to play for them. They brought him and then just kept him for 3 years and didn't do anything with him. I think this is a very good signing for our level of football. 3.5-star current ability. Again, we play the defensive midfield role, and I think Ofabora is going to play that role very, very well. I'm also going to ruin his name every single time I say it. And you might be wondering how we've managed to afford bringing in some new players because we were top of our wage budget. Well, we've sold a few people. John Ryan, the Irish left-back, has gone over to Italy. Apparently he was already in Italy at some point. He went to Sassuolo, then we brought him on a free, and now I've sold him back to Italy, going to Albino Leffe for a small amount of money, but it's money. This one the fans weren't too pleased with, but I'm not that interested in him. Mamadi Kamara, the Bissau-Guinean left winger, right winger, whatever position you want to call him. He's played 11 times, actually, for Reading in real life. He's moved over to Vitsetable for £60,000. It's not a lot of money, but there is some add-ons in there. There's a sell-on clause as well. So if he turns out to be any good, we're going to get a bit of kickback from that. And the big one I wasn't too convinced about doing, but then I kind of went in my head, actually, you know what? By the time this man gets good, we aren't going to be needing him anyway. So, for £500,000, Caelan Vickers has moved over to Wolves, and I think there's sell-ons in there as well and all sorts of stuff. So, Caelan Vickers going to Wolves, he might turn into a very good footballer, but we're not going to know. But we've got that £500,000, which we've obviously then spent, reinvested on wages and things like that. There are a lot of other players leaving on loan deals. Basically a lot of money has come in through these loan deals as well. So players going on loan to Accrington, you can see all the total fees here. We've actually done a decent amount of money coming into the club from loan deals. And it means this is what our squad looks like. We are playing a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-4, whatever you want to call it. So with the two defensive midfielders, I try and keep, if we sort by this, I try and keep 2 players for every single position in our squad. We're a little bit overloaded in midfield and a little bit overloaded up front, but I'm not too fussed with some of that, to be honest. So we've got Button and Pereira in goal, Yeardom and Mbenge in defence. We've got Harley Dean, who is, like I said, probably never going to play. Still hasn't kicked a ball after 7 games. Tom McIntyre, Tom Holmes and Nelson Abbey as our centre-backs. Mola and Guinness Walker as our right-backs, or left-backs, sorry. Charlie Savage, the son of Robbie Savage, obviously. Abdullahi, Hutchinson, Offenborough and Wing as our central midfielders. We've got Aziz, we've got Ajaria, we've got Leai and Nibs as our wingers. Graben, Mukiri, Smith, Kelvin, I'm not going to try it. I'm not even going to bother trying it. And Don Ballard leading our lines. So, I think we've got a decent squad. We've started the season well. As you've probably spotted, we are 4th in the table. We've only lost 1 match in all competitions. We've only drawn 1 league game as well, and that was against Cheltenham. Elsewhere, we've beaten Peterborough, Port Vale, Stevenage and Exeter. Don Ballard with 3 goals across all of the matches. Femi Aziz with a couple of goals as well. We are looking pretty good, I think. And today, we are now going to play Cambridge and hopefully carry on that and move us up to maybe 2nd in the table. If we didn't have our -4 goal difference, or not goal difference, our -4 points, we'd actually be 2nd now. The starting lineup then for the Cambridge game will be Button in goal, Yeardom, Holmes, McIntyre and Guinness Walker in defence, Offenborough and Abdullahi in midfield with Aziz and Leai on the wings, Kelvin and Ballard leading the lines, which I think those two should be playing up front for Reading in real life. That should be their strike partnership. I don't know who else they've got, by the way. I mean, I assume Harvey Nibs is there, but, you know, play Kelvin and Dom, go on. So I think on paper, we are much better than most teams in this league. By not a fair distance, but I think we are much better than quite a few teams in this league. So we should be challenging at the top of the table anyway. The -4 points deduction is just kind of a minor bump in the road. Hopefully we should be good enough to just get past that. Finish in the playoffs. That's kind of not the target. The target is obviously win the league. But if we can finish in the playoffs, I'll be happy with that. 9 minutes on the clock and we've got ourselves a corner. Yeardom's cross comes in towards McIntyre. Doesn't quite manage to find him. Aziz collects it. So many blue and white shirts in the box. Mannion makes a very good save. It took a deflection, I think, off Kelvin. Second chance from the corner then. Yeardom once again going over to take it. This time McIntyre might get there. Doesn't quite. Ballard collects it. Crosses it in. And Tommy McIntyre is in the middle to blast it into the back of the net. The centre-back makes it 1-0 with not scoring a header. Admittedly, he was up for the corner anyway. Not too long later, and another highlight possibly going our way. Ballard's in on goal here. Will Mannion makes the save. Don Ballard looked like he was going over to take that corner then. It's not you. It is you. Apparently Don Ballard's taken this one, not Yeardom. I don't know why you've decided to change. Ballard's corner comes in. McIntyre's at the back post. Doesn't quite manage to get on the end of it. Free kick, and it is Aziz standing over the ball. We've also got number 18, which is Guinness Walker. Aziz is probably going to be the man to go for a shot. Tries to curl it into the top corner. Goes just over the bar. Judging by how these highlights seem to be going, I have a feeling we're going to do quite well in this league. Guinness Walker to Don Ballard. Where are we going to go? Across to Tom Holmes. Is maybe Tom Holmes going to get himself a goal? Get both the centre-backs on the score sheets. Guinness Walker, little walk forward. Across to McIntyre, the 1 goal scorer so far. I feel like there's a second on the cards. Leai collects the ball. The Solomon Islander, who, by the way, shouldn't be playing this game, but I wanted to play him on camera. He's basically missed the last 2 or 3 matches through injury, and he's just returned. Abdullahi to Leai on that left-hand side. The 5'6" Solomon Isla international. Should I be playing him up front? I'm playing him on the wing. That just seems to be like the more natural position for his attributes. But maybe he should be a striker. Leai collects it, goes on the ground to Ballard. His efforts goes into the bottom corner. Leai and Ballard combining to make it 2-0. The goal won't stand. He's offside. It's 1-0. And since that disallowed goal, it's kind of gone very, very quiet leading into half-time. Cambridge are getting some shots away by the looks of it, but nothing obviously highlight-worthy. 3 minutes of injury time left of the first half. We go in with a 1-0 lead against Cambridge away from home. Looking very good. I'd like to have another one. Another goal. Let's go in. Let's finish it 2-0. Kelvin's not doing so hot on a 6-5. Neither is Offenborough. Neither is really Abdullah either, but we'll keep him on for the moment. Keep an eye on him, though, for the second half. It was a coin flip between Kelvin and Graben as well, so I think we might be seeing Lewis Graben. I think we're going to be seeing it sooner rather than later. He's dropped down to 6.4. Graben's coming on, and then we do it that way round. So Ballard goes to the pressing forward. Graben goes to the attacking or the advance forward. Do we do Yiadom for Mbenge? Did I say Mbenge was a right back? I did, didn't I? I quite like Mbenge. He's only 21 as well, so we'll do that change as well. How many subs we can do? We can do 5. Charlie Savage is going to come on as well for Abdullah, just to kind of, because his fitness-wise isn't particularly good. His performance isn't great either. He's on a 6-6. Cambridge have now had more shots than us. We've still yet to see one of them, but they've had more shots. 7 now to our 6. Second half, we've had nothing. No highlights whatsoever, I don't think. It would be nice to have another highlight. Just one, just to finish off the video. Doesn't look like we're going to get it, does it? It looks like it's going to be a 1-0 win then for Reading against Cambridge away from home until the 90th minute where there is a corner. McIntyre clears it. Kai collects this. Is that Solly Kai, formerly of Crystal Palace? Why do I know that? It's oh my word. If you've watched my Villa save, you'll know that late goals seem to be a thing that happen a lot for me. Yep, there's another one. It's 1-1. David Button has dropped down to 6.2 because of that. We should have won that game. We were clearly the better side. We should have scored more goals. That's frustrating. That is really annoying. A last-minute equaliser that arguably they didn't deserve. They had one highlight the whole game and scored from it. David Button, catch, mate. You weren't good enough. You seem demotivated. Good. I want you to be demotivated. I think I read too much into what that statement says. I think that means he is actually demotivated rather than he just looks a bit upset. I want him to be upset. I don't want him to be so demotivated that he basically just doesn't want to play football anymore. Well, that is where we stand after 6 games, so 5th place in the table. If we did not have that -4, we would still be 2nd place because results seem to have gone our way. I don't know what's in the water in Oxford, but they have won 6 out of 6. Didn't they just get promoted as well? I'm thinking, no, for some reason I thought Oxford were League 2. We are now going to jump all the way forward to the 11th of November where we will play Shrewsbury, also on camera. So 10 league games, I think it's 10 league games in between. We've also got some EFL trophy stuff, which, let's face it, we don't care about, nobody cares about. We'll be back for Shrewsbury and we'll see where we are in November. We're a couple of days before the Shrewsbury game on the 11th of November, and you can see the league table on the left-hand side. We have dropped down to 6th place in the table. However, when you add that -4 points back on, we will actually be in 2nd place. Bolton leading the way, Exeter, Leyton Orient, Oxford and Wickham. It's very Southern and then Bolton, isn't it? It's very Southern and then Bolton. You can also see that we have been knocked out of both the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, losing to Wycombe Wanderers and QPR, although the QPR one was technically earlier on in the season. So let's face it, it's less distractions. EFL Trophy, we are still somehow in this. We did manage to win a game against Chelsea's under-21s, but that's pretty much it. I mean, we've drawn again. No, we've lost again. There you go. We lost 5-1 against Colchester. Marvellous. So this is what has gone on in between the matches. So yeah, we can see the defeat there. We lose against Bolton, which is not ideal, but arguably you can kind of see why. We did miss a penalty. Kelvin finishing the match on a 6.2. We then went on an undefeated run in the league, which did involve 3 draws, but 4 draws even. Oh my word. We drew with Blackpool, we drew with Leyton Orient, we drew with Charlton, and we drew with Portsmouth. But we did get a big win there against Oxford, a 3-2 win. That's pretty decent for us. We've also beaten Fleetwood 5-1. Harvey Nibbs with a hat-trick. A brace as well for Don Ballard. I think so far things are going well. We are going to play the Shrewsbury game now on camera. And I'm hoping, because they're down in 16th, we should be good enough to win this one. So the starting lineup for the Shrewsbury game then. In goal will be Harvey Collins. Who's Harvey Collins, you ask? He is our under-21s goalkeeper, maybe even our under-18s goalkeeper, because Button and Pereira are both injured. We'll look at him in just a second. Yeardom, Holmes, Mola and Guinness Walker in defence. Offenborough and Lewis Wing in midfield today with Aziz, Nibs, Ballard and Graben leading the lines. We've got a lot of goals up here. Kelvin on the bench as well with 7 goals to his name. Who's Basil Tumour? Who's Basil? Basil looks good. I've had to put on my under-21s and my under-18s because I don't know who our third choice goalkeeper is. It's Harvey Collins. He's not very good. He's played 2 and a bit games or 1 and a bit games so far. He played the FA Cup game. Maybe that's why we lost. Anyway, he's kept a clean sheet in one of them. So Harvey gets himself another chance in goal today. I'm going to bring on Basil, aren't I? Partly because he's called Basil. So you've probably noticed there is a fair amount of rotating going on, and that is because we have international duty. We've had a lot of injuries, obviously, with the goalkeepers, but players like Leai as well have been injured, so they're not featuring as well. So we've got a reasonable sized squad. However, we are being absolutely ravaged by injuries at the moment. I think we're missing the winger as well, the guy on loan from Copenhagen. He's out injured. Feeney with the ball. We are 1 minute into this game against Shrewsbury, and I'm hoping this isn't a Shrewsbury highlight. Feeney gets it back to Dunkley. Ball upfield towards nobody really. It's going to be Collins coming out to collect it. The third choice goalkeeper didn't even want to pick it up. Harvey Nibs doesn't win that header. And now Bayliss can come forward for Shrewsbury on the right-hand side. He's got a runner in the fullback. Bayliss to Kenner. Kenner plays it on the ground to Bennett. Looking very good, Shrewsbury are at the moment. For a team that's 16th in the table, they are passing this around like they are the best team in the world at the moment. And they've made it 1-0. How much of this can we pin on our goalkeeper? Because he's a child, he's 21, but still, he's our third choice goalkeeper. Aziz with a corner for us. It's a terrible corner. He's going to get himself another chance though. Takes a touch, gets past his man, goes for goal himself. It is a good save from Morosi. Corner from the opposite side now. It is Wing who's playing because he basically threw his toys at the pram and said, I want to play more football. And I went, you know what, you're actually quite good. Lewis Wing decides to leave that for a throw for some reason. Yeardom now for us on the right hand side. Don Ballard collects to Tommy Holmes. Ball forward to Ballard just inside our half. Across to Lewis Wing. I'm not convinced by Wing so far. He really wanted to play. We spoke literally just before this match and he said, I want to play some games. And I went, okay, we'll do it. And so far, he's not really been massively important, has he? Admittedly, we're 10 minutes in. It is Kenner's ball forward towards Phillips. He collects it and goes for a little run. Left-hand side is Fleming. Down the wing. Does he go? He does. He tries to cross it in. Eventually he does. It's hit the first man. Collins, hold on to that. Good job, Harvey. Shrewsbury are looking good on the highlights, but when it comes to match stats, it's actually fairly even. Obviously, they do have that goal, which is the main stat, let's be honest. Guinness Walker to Graben. The 35-year-old goes for goal and blasts it into the back of the net. His 8th of the season. I genuinely wasn't convinced when I signed him either, okay? I'll tell you now, I wasn't convinced, but Graben seems to be doing the business. Yeardom with a cross, 22 minutes now. Bayliss is going to collect it on the ground. Shrewsbury coming forward. It's 1-1, and I don't think this is a good result. If we draw away from home against Shrewsbury, I will not be particularly happy. Udo's in on goal, heads over the bar this time. Collins can easily see that one. We're going to see the goal kick as well. Collins to Clinton Mola, who's getting a start as well. He's good. Clinton Mola, I think, is very good. He's still only young as well. Guinness Walker on the left-hand side, forward to Nibs. Now Graben. Can he get a second of the game, maybe? Guinness Walker goes for a little wander. Graben's going for a run. Careful, mate. You need to slow down. You might just do your hip in. I can say that. I'm older than Lewis Grab, okay? Harvey Nibs to Guinness Walker. Is he going to go for a run? Nope. Mola to Offenborough. Now Dommy Ballard. Right-hand side is Yeardom. Lots and lots of space for Yeardom. He's going to try and cut inside. Why did he cut inside? I'm not sure what just happened there. The game just it lagged a little bit for me, but Harvey Nibs is at the back post to head that ball in. So we take the lead against Shrewsbury. Nibs is the man to score the goal. And is that enough to move us up in the table? Where are we going to go? It says we've moved up to 6th, but I feel like that was before the goal. Yeardom with a throw for us. Wing has picked up an injury. So, buddy, you said that you wanted to play for us, and then you've immediately gone and just played badly and injured yourself. Wing has it. Number 29 across to Guinness Walker. Goes down the line. Ball in towards Don Ballard in the middle. He's not going to get anywhere near it. Nibs collects it. Graben's in the box if he can get his cross away. He wants to go for goal himself. He's found some space as well. He's not managed to pull the trigger. And Shrewsbury can clear the ball upfield. This highlight is going to carry on though. Fleming collects it. We're only 32 minutes in as well. Down the line. Udo collects it for Shrewsbury. Crosses it in. Phillips is in the middle unmarked. It's 2-2. Right, I think we're going to have to take Lewis Wing off. Graben as well. Looks like he's taken an absolute clattering. Although, he seems to be getting better. So that's not too bad. I think Wing will need to be coming off at half-time. Cross comes in. Lewis Graben is there. And he gets his 9th goal of the season just before half-time. On the stroke of half-time, we retake the lead. 5 minutes of injury time to play as well, I imagine, because of all the goals. But it doesn't matter. It is 3-2 at half-time. This is a very good game for the neutrals. We've had a lot of shots. I'm not happy. I'm actually not happy with that performance. Right, we're going to do that wing change as well. And we're going to do... Do we do Hutchinson? Is Hutchinson the man? Hutchinson almost played in goal, by the way. He is apparently able to play in goal. I think we do Hutchinson. And then we swap you two round, because I think that's a better way round. So, Offerborough as the DLP. 5 minutes into the second half, we've got a free kick in a good position. Aziz is the man to step up and take it. On a 7.9 is Aziz. Goes over the bar. I've just seen Graben's on an 8.3, obviously with 2 goals to his name. Aziz now bumps up to an 8. The 2 strikers as well for Shrewsbury are both on 8s themselves. There's some very good players, very good performances today. We're going to do a change. Yeardom is coming off for Mbenge because he's not playing very well at all. Do we do Ballard off? Ballard's got the fitness. I'm kind of debating, do we take off Ballard because he's not playing well, or do we take off Graben because he's getting tired? Or do we just bring on Basil Tuma for Aziz? I mean, Aziz, we'll do that. We'll do that and we'll do that. Basil Tuma's getting a debut, okay? I've seen his name. It's a funny name. We're bringing him on. Aziz with a corner. Are we going to find Graben again? Holmes is at the back post. It's Tommy Holmes. He makes it 4-2 from the corner. His 3rd of the season. And I'm hoping we have turned the corner in this match. Bayliss with a corner for Shrewsbury. Cross comes in. Hutchinson's there but doesn't manage to get a head on it. It's gone off for a goal kick. I'm thinking we do some more changes. We've got 15 minutes to play. I'm thinking Graben is... Let's keep Graben on. Let's get him a hat-trick, shall we? Evans with the pass for Shrewsbury. Finnegan back to Fleming over the top towards Bayliss. He's hopefully not going to get there. He does get there. And Bowman's there as well. It's 4-3. How much of this can we blame on the young goalkeeper? Really? I mean, he's dropped down to a 6-5. Right, final 10 minutes. We are going to do a bunch of changes. Kelvin's coming on for Ballard because Ballard isn't doing very well. How many more can we do? We've got one more sub that we can do. We've got a centre-back and a central midfielder. I think we do that, don't we? Abdullah Aziz. It's not like that. It's Azim Abdullah is coming on. Sam Hutchinson, do we keep them that way round? Yes, we do. And then obviously we're doing Kelvin coming on for Ballard. It's all of our changes. 10 minutes to hold on. Or maybe find ourselves another goal would be lovely. It is Guinness Walker to Lewis Graben. Number 10 crosses it in. Basil's at the back post, and oh my word, Basil's gone for a bicycle kick. Imagine if that went in on his debut. We've got a corner. Aziz is the man to go over and take it. Where is this one going to go? We've got options. Back post is Tommy Holmes again. This time it's headed clear. I'm genuinely in shock that Basil Tuma tried to do an overhead kick and almost scored it. Imagine if that's how you opened up your professional account as a footballer. Graben's gone over to take it. Weird person to take it towards Kelvin. It's cleared. Hopefully we keep it alive. We don't keep it alive enough to carry on the highlight. Instead, Shrewsbury have a corner of their own, and it's 4-4. I don't think any defenders have turned up today for either team. 4-4. 8 goals. 8 goals have been scored. 5 minutes of injury time, and is something going to happen in the final highlight? I'm hoping this is the final highlight. It is Evans collects the ball for Shrewsbury, intercepted by Hutchinson. Kelvin finds Basil on the right-hand side, goes for a little run, cuts off towards the right a little bit, crosses it in towards Graben. Can he get himself his hat-trick? He can't even bother jumping, apparently. Guinness Walker keeps it alive, crosses it in, Basil's at the back post. Kelvin's there as well, and Kelvin might have just stolen it at the death. We've got a minute of normal, or not even normal, injury time to play. We're going to drop down to defensive. We retake the lead. Kelvin with the goal. And we have managed to pick up 3 points from what I'm going to say, honestly, was a thoroughly entertaining game of football. So with that win, then, that puts us on to 32 points. Again, I keep mentioning this. Without that points deduction, we would be in second place. We'd be on 36 points. But unfortunately, we are down in 5th at the moment. But I'll take 5th. I'm happy with 5th. It means we should be getting into the playoffs. If we have a look at the season preview, they're expecting 11th. So I'm happy with 5th. 5th is actually very good for us. And now I'm just looking at Basil thinking, do we do it? Do we suddenly play Basil on that right-hand side for a few matches and give him a chance? I'm going to put him into the first team. It's happening. That's going to do it for this episode. Next episode, what we are going to do, we are going to play Cheltenham on camera. We are also going to play Oxford on camera, which some of you might have worked out means we will also be getting the January transfer window as well. A little spoiler for you, we've got about £1,000 a week to spend in our wage budget and zero transfer budget. But we do have some players who I will be looking to hopefully try and shift on. Players like Harley Dean who are getting paid far too much money because they're not playing for us. We're about to enter the January transfer window with our Reading side, and we are also currently sat second place in the table, 7 points behind Bolton, because apparently they're running away with it, but we are also, importantly, 5 points clear of Derby County, and we are actually 1 game in hand as well. Oxford have 2 games in hand over Derby, 1 over us, so they could close that gap also to 5 points, but we are in a very good position at the moment. How we've got here is basically, since the last time we were here, we've won everything apart from a 3-1 defeat against Derby. Last episode we finished with the 5-4 win against Shrewsbury, which was nuts, by the way. And then, yeah, we won absolutely everything. Beating Cambridge, losing to Derby, obviously. Beating Wickham, beating Carlisle, beating Shrewsbury again this time, not conceding 4 goals. Then beating Barnsley, Lincoln, Wigan. That's a huge result as well, beating Wigan. And then beating Peterborough as well, with Leai getting his, I assume that's his first goal. It's his first goal for the club. He's got 2 assists. You'll notice as well, Basil Tumer scored against Lincoln and scored a brace against Wickham. It's because I've been playing him. He's made 6 starts, scored 3 goals, got 1 assist. He's actually doing quite well. So then we're jumping straight into the first match of the episode. We will be playing Cheltenham. We will also have the January transfer window. And then we've got a match just after January, which I can't remember what it is at the moment. It is going to be David Button in goal for us, with Mbenge, Holmes, McIntyre and Guinness Walker in defence. Mbenge comes in for Yeardom because Mbenge is about 22. Yeardom is about 32. I didn't realise Yeardom was that old. Hutchinson and Abdullahi in midfield. It shouldn't be Hutchinson, should it? It definitely should not be Hutchinson. It should be somebody slightly younger. Let's go with Charlie Savage, sure. Abdullahi and Savage in midfield. Tumer and Leai on the wings. Probably shouldn't be playing Leai. He's not match fit. Let's change all that. I don't know what I'm doing. Have you noticed that? Makairu is going to be on that left wing instead. Kelvin and Don Ballard leading the lines. We have got a few injuries. We've got Nibs injured. We've got Graben injured as well. Obviously, you saw we have some fitness concerns with Wing is not match fit. Leai is not match fit. Offenborough is also not match fit. So, yeah, we've kind of had to do a little bit of rotation. We've got 2 players getting squad numbers today. One of them is Oviajaria. I don't really want to bring him off the bench because he's going to get paid £2,000 every time he appears for the club. And in case, if you haven't realised, this is probably going to be the first and last time that you will see Oviajaria because I am going to be selling him in January. Whether he likes it or not, we'll be using the new feature of hiring an intermediary to get rid of him. Same with Harley Dean. I want him off the books as well. Charlie Savage with a free kick for us. It's Basil. Basil chests it down on the half volley. Basil's blasted it in. It's going to go down as an own goal. Owen Bevan is the man to deflect it past Luke Southwood. But Basil Tumer, he's got to claim that, surely. Look at all the space Basil had. Chests it down on the half volley. It clips Bevan, okay? It clips Bevan. I'm giving that to Basil. I nearly called him Big Basil. He's 5'6". Guinness Walker now with the throw for us. We are only half an hour in. Ball is cleared by Cheltenham. McIntyre collects though. Down the line to Guinness Walker. Ball forward to Makairu. Can he get his cross away? He does, and Don Ballard is there to ghost in at the front post. His 12th goal of the season. If we get promoted, he is going to be a massive miss if we can't extend his loan deal or possibly bring him in on a permanent contract. The second one, don't think it's ever going to happen. Holmes to Abdullahi. He's going to go for a little run, maybe not. He's kicked it straight into that man, but Makairu collects it. He's going to go for a run. Basil, right-hand side. He's got some runner in Mbenge. Basil's continued forward, maybe not. Basil finds Abdullahi. First time shot is taken another deflection. Was that off Bevan again? Was that off Bevan again? Hold on, we need to pause this. It was off Bevan again. He should have 2 own goals. So unlike the way we ended last episode, where we scored a lot of goals, but we also conceded a lot, this time around, we look like we are playing very, very well, just getting all the goals. And Benge's even trying to get in on the act there with a long-range effort, but goes just over the bar. We've got 5 minutes left to play of the first half. 3-0 up away from home is very good. Right, what do we do at half-time? I am going to have to do a change because Charlie Savage, he's very tired. I don't know why he's very tired, but he just is. So Charlie is coming off. Lewis Wing is going to come on. Do we swap you 2 round? Doesn't make a difference. At what point do we need to start trying to worry about what other teams are doing around us? And by other teams, I mean literally Bolton is the one team that we're kind of worried about at the moment. Bevan, easy going to try and make amends. Horton goes for a long-range effort. Button, stretched out arms, sees it go over the bar. Still 3-0 as we approach the hour mark. It's another corner though for Cheltenham. Cross comes in, and Tom Bradbury makes it 3-1. Is the comeback on? I feel like there might be a late goal in this, which might make it 3-3, because that's how Football Manager is for me. This Football Manager seems to love letting me concede late goals. Right, into the final 20, or very close to the final 20. We're going to do that. We're going to play Lai up front, and we're going to do it that way round so he can be the advance forward. Do we want to do any other changes? Basil, by the way, 7.1. Absolutely smashing it. Lewis Wing's come off the bench, and he's playing badly. We've got Louis Holtzman. Louis Holtzman is a child on the subs bench, and I think we're going to do it. He's actually very good. 2.5 star. Southwood with a free kick for Cheltenham over the halfway line. McIntyre heads down, but straight to a red shirt. Sercombe goes for a run, gets past his man as well, buttons off his line, and Liam Sercombe makes it 3-2. What did I say? It's going to be a 3-3 draw. At what point do we shut up shop? Lewis Wing's on a 6.3. I think we're going to sell him in January. He's been so bad. Ever since he spoke to me and said, I want to play more matches, he's been awful. Smith with the throw. Final 10 minutes. Can Cheltenham find a way back into this? Which they should not be able to. They should not be able to score a third goal in this. McIntyre heads clear. Not far enough, though. Cross comes in. Sercombe's there. Doesn't get on the end of it. It's still alive. Shots deflected. David Button saves that one from Chapman. Right, we're going to do Wing. Wing's coming off. I've had enough of you. Playing okay. Andy Yeardom's going to come on in central midfield. Do we do that? Sure, Yeardom as a centre-back. I don't know whether you can do it or not, but that's what we're going to go for. There is a highlight, but I think this is because of the subs. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. Abdullahi with the long-range effort. Go for a goal, buddy. It wasn't very good, was it? It definitely wasn't a good effort. Into the final couple of minutes. We are into injury time as well. 5 minutes to play. I should probably move off positive, but we're just going to grin and bear it. A 3-2 win. What has happened? What has happened in the second half? We were amazing in the first half, and then the second half we just decided to not bother. We even had a little flurry of activity there. Arguably, they probably should have equalised in that little bit of activity there as well, but we've picked up 3 points. 3 points that now moves us within touching distance of Bolton. We are 4 points behind them at the moment. Derby, 5 points behind us, but we do still have that one game in hand. I'm thinking it's looking promising. Automatic promotion would be absolutely amazing. If we don't get automatic promotion, we are looking very likely at the moment to get into the playoffs. We're now going to go forward to possibly halfway through January. I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do 3 matches in this episode. We're going to do Port Vale, I think. We're going to come back for Port Vale. We'll also do Oxford as well as the final match of the episode. But bear in mind, this is January. We've got no money. We're actually overspending our wage budget now because I've offered some new contracts to people whose contracts are expiring. We'll be back in a few days. Right, we are partway through January. We're now on to the 13th. We have played a few matches. We have done a bit of business. Not a huge amount of business, but let's just briefly tell you what's going on. 2 players have joined the club so far. Matt Penny is the first one. He is a left back, and he's been brought in kind of for next season, but he was available on a free transfer. Now, I don't think he's particularly bad. He's 25 years old. He's not going to be playing a lot of football, but I think he's alright. The other player to join the club is Joe Hugill, on loan from Man United. Now, this is one for the future, and you might be thinking, but he's only on loan. That's because he's out of contract at the end of the season, and now that he's already here, he's maybe living in Reading come July, so we can just go, hey, buddy, do you want to just stay here? That's the plan. He's kind of the long-term Dom Ballard replacement. That's my hopes. There are also some transfers going on that means players will be leaving the club. 2 of them in particular. Clinton Mola is leaving on a permanent deal at the end of the season, going to Kaiserslautern. This is why we brought in Matt Penny, because Clinton Mola was my kind of backup left back. Annoyingly, he's leaving on a free transfer. We can do the whole sell now. We don't get a lot of money, £210,000, which I might do, although he did play 14 times for us. The other one is Nelson Abbey, a player who literally does not play for us, really. He's played 1 game and 7 off the bench, but he might be leaving for potentially up to £2 million. I mean, it's 1.2 or 950. There are also Burnley and Southampton are interested. I'm now thinking this isn't a good idea. I've accepted these 2 offers. I'm tempted to try and do the whole bidding war. Let's bump this up a little bit and see what happens. We've also loaned out Sam Smith, who he's gone to Gillingham on loan. He's not playing. He just is not playing for us at all. He's played twice, scoring 1 goal. He's getting paid £6,000 a week, so we've loaned him out. And Gillingham are paying most of that. They're not paying most of it. I mean, technically they are. They're paying $4,200 plus some monthly fee, so they're basically paying his wages, aren't they? I'm also tempted to do this because it will give us £2 million. If we sell on the clause for the 10% of his next transfer fee for Michael Elise, we get $2 million. Is he likely to leave anytime soon? He's only played 2 starts and 9 off the bench. Have you been injured? What's going on? The answer to that is yes. Yeah, he's torn his hamstring. He's out for 4 months. That would make sense. Anyway, we've obviously played some matches as well in January. We've played 3 in total, beating Exeter 4-0, beating Stevenage 3-1, and beating Wickham in the EFL Trophy. Third round, which puts us into the quarterfinal against Portsmouth. We might be, winning the EFL Trophy the way things are going. You can see there as well. Leai scoring, Basil Tuma scoring. Leai's actually starting to get some goals. 3 goals now, and I think they've all come in his last 5 games. There you go, look at that. The starting lineup then for the Port Vale game will be Button in goal, Mbenge, Holmes, Holzman, and Guinness Walker in defence. Abdullah and Savage in midfield, Chuma and Makairu on the wings. Hugill and Ballard leading the lines for this one. We still have some injuries with your players. Sam Hutchinson's out injured. McIntyre has the flu. That's it. We've got a few players that have actually got the flu. Leai, I think, also has the flu. He's got a cold. Graben, he's out for 6 weeks to 2 months. We've got some. Yeah, we're kind of in a bit of an injury crisis. Not a bad one, but it's looking a little bit light in places. Right, this should be a nice, comfortable and winnable game. Why are we wearing our away kit when we're playing at home? I don't know, although I do love that away kit. I love a purple kit. Not many teams seem to wear purple, and I love a purple kit. So far, nearly 20 minutes in, we've had very little going on. Port Vale with the ball, though. First highlight of the match. Lowe's going to go for a run off to the right-hand side. Sang back to Lowe. Lowe's carried on his run. Intercepted, though, by Guinness Walker. Abdullah to Joe Hugill. Takes a few touches, ball through the middle. Ballard's one-on-one with the keeper. First time shot from Don Ballard. It is 15 goals for the season. And this is why, I know this is Football Manager, but this is why I say Reading should be playing him. He does this in real life. He scored a hat-trick for the England under-17s, I think, the other week. That goal as well puts us to the top of the table. 1 point clear of Bolton, although they've got a game in hand. Charlie Savage steps up, long-range free kick, goes just over the bar. Decent effort from Savage, but still only 1-0, although Port Vale have literally had no shots so far. Devine controls it well on the ground, intercepted easily by Holzman. Back to Holmes. Forward, and Mbenge on the right-hand side. Go down the line, please. You've got Chuma on the right. Chuma collects it. Come on, Basil. Basil's control is not the best. Savage heads forward. Joe Hugill's there. Surely he was offside. He's not offside. Apparently it's his second goal of the season. His first goal for Reading, and it is on camera. We double our lead. Makairu with a corner now towards the back post. I think it was Holmes. Grant's going to collect it first, or maybe not. Mbenge. He's going to go for a little run down the right-hand side, the fullback. He's got plenty of purples in the middle. Abdullah collects. Going to go the wrong way, aren't we? We're going backwards, guys. We're going backwards towards Savage. Spins. Passes it off to the left-hand side. Invites Guinness Walker into the attack. Dinks it forward. Back post is Basil. And Big Bad Basil was there. Makes it 3-0. His 5th goal of the season. For a 5'6" winger, I'm happy with that. He scored a header. Corner for Port Vale, still in the first half. Is that Phil Jagielka? Surely it's not Phil Jagielka. He's got to be about 43. Lowe collects it back to Astley. Now Smith loses out to Joe Hugill. Lovely little bit of running from Hugill there to get past the Port Vale men. Guinness Walker to Savage. Doesn't do anything. Where was the highlight there? That is Phil Jagielka. I mean, I just want to check. How old is he? He's 41. Phil Jagielka's 41, guys, and he's still playing at League One as well. It's not a bad level. Half-time it is at 3-0 so far. I'm just going to click that. That seemed to do a decent enough job. Straight into the second half, no changes at the moment. Port Vale are just playing badly, but as we know from pretty much every match so far in this save, we're probably going to draw this one 3-3. Abdullah collects it. Where are we going to go? Backwards to Holmes. Right-hand side is Mbenge. Uses Abdullah instead. Now gets it to Mbenge. Chuma's there. Wants to use him, doesn't want to. Tries to get the cross in himself, does so. Keeper comes out. Savage on the volley. Oh my word, that would have been a superb goal. Instead it goes just wide. Just gone the hour mark, and it is starting to look pretty comfortable. I'm thinking of changes. I'm thinking Savage might be the one to come off. Basil as well, actually. He's just taken a bit of a clattering. I think hampered by injury. Right, so Offerborough, that's his name. Femi Aziz as well is also going to come on, just the 2 subs at the moment. Offerborough I thought was going to be a really good player for us. He doesn't really play that much. I think Port Vale are also down to 10 men now. They've used all of their subs and then Divine picked up an injury. So I think they're down to 10 men. Makaru with a corner towards Ballard. It's not towards Ballard. It's gone past absolutely everybody. Deborah collects it. Not really a highlight, was it? Nothing really came of that. Goal kick for Port Vale. Final 10 minutes. Do we want to do some more changes? Hugo heads down to Ballard. Ball upfield to Offerborough. Is he going to go for goal? Plays it to Makaru. He's been kicked. It is a penalty. And I'm not sure who's going to step up and take this, but... Is it Ballard? Is Ballard on 2 already? It's number 3. Who's number 3? It is Tommy Holmes stepping up to take the penalty. In off the post. We'll take it. We will definitely take it. It is 4-0. Right, let's do a couple more changes. More fitness related than anything else. I mean, Clinton Mola's going to play in midfield. Yeardom's going to come on as well. We've got one more to do. Do we give Jamari Clark a debut? Sure, let's do you for Joe. Jamari Clark, by the way, has been sat in our under-21s for quite a while. And he's actually pretty decent. So let's give him a game. Give him a few minutes anyway. Didn't get to see anything in those few minutes, but we do win 4-0 against Port Vale. A very good win there. Very happy with that performance. But frustratingly, Bolton win in the 95th minute, which puts them back to the top of the table, still with the game in hand as well. So they're at best 4 points clear, at worst 1 point clear. Or at worst 4 points clear, at best 1 point. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Oh, and Tuma's out for 5 to 6 weeks with a calf strain. He's done so well since coming into the first team. He's getting actually not bad either. Right, we're now going to jump forward to the Oxford game. We're going to finish off the January transfer window. I'm not expecting a huge amount of business, as I keep saying, but we do now have a bit of wage budget to spend if we want to. We're probably not going to, though, unless we sell some people, then we might see a little bit of rotation going on. Right, the transfer deadline has passed, and we've done a little bit more business. In fact, we've done a fair amount of business. We've got rid of some players on loan deals, and a couple on permanents as well. So Nelson Abbey has left. He has made his way over to Leeds United. £1.2 million, potentially going to £1.8 million. We never played him. This man's gone to Bristol City for £180,000. This man's gone to Shrewsbury for about £40,000. This man's gone to Burton Albion for around £15,000. This man has gone to Barnsley for about £85,000. And we did move Clinton Mola over to Kaiserslautern for £180,000. We probably could have got more from him if we did this earlier on in January, but, you know, I'm a clown. We've also loaned out Harley Dean to MK Dons, and they are paying most of his wages, which is very helpful. I say most. They're paying a decent chunk of his wages plus a monthly fee. And also, Ovia Jaria has also left. He has gone over to Barnsley on loan. I think he's out of contract at the end of this season. He has. So we're never going to see him again. But Barnsley, again, they're paying a decent chunk of his wages. In fact, they're paying basically everything, aren't they? And because of that, we brought in 2 players on deadline day. First up is Dynel Simeo from Southampton on loan. He's out of contract at the end of the season. He's had an interesting career at Southampton. Bought him for £1.5 million. And then just gone out on loan to League 2 and League 1 sides. He's going to hopefully join in the summer on a free. And we also spent £120,000 on Cameron Burgess, because he came up on like a scout report and they were like, you should probably get him, he's very good. And I thought, actually, you know what? We have got rid of Clinton Mola. We've got some ageing players as well in defence. Burgess at 28, he's still got a couple of years left in him. And that's a decent bit of business. It's not a bad price at all. So Cameron Burgess has joined Reading. And this is our squad for the rest of the season. We are very heavy in strikers, but Graben is currently out injured. We've obviously got a whole load of loans as well. I think we've got a good team. We've got 2 players for every position. So I'm happy with it. We're going to go forward now and play Oxford. We have continued, obviously, playing some more games. We drew 0-0 with Wigan. Not ideal. We then beat Portsmouth in the EFL Trophy quarter-final, setting up a semi-final against Bristol Rovers, who we should hopefully be good enough to beat as well. We are currently sat second place in the table, 3 points behind Bolton, but we do have a game in hand and superior goal difference. So, if we win that game in hand, which I think might be the game against Oxford. It's not against Oxford. Who's our game in hand against? Where is our game in hand? I don't know. Maybe it's there. Might be Leyton Orient. If we win that game in hand, we will go top of the table on goal difference properly as well. Right then, this is arguably one of the most important games of the season so far. Away from home against Oxford, second versus third. It's going to be Button in goal, Yeardom, Holmes, Burgess making his debut, and McIntyre playing as a left back today. It's going to be Offerborough and Abdullah midfield, Aziz and Makairu on the wings, Kelvin and Joe Hugo leading the lines. You'll notice, obviously, we've done a little bit more rotation, and Benge has a cold. Guinness Walker, I nearly call him McGuinness Walker, it's just Guinness Walker. He's sprained his wrist. We're missing Lewis Grabban still. Basil is out. Jamari Clark is injured. Don Ballard is not fully fit, and I don't want to basically accidentally play him, so I've dropped him completely. We've still got Harvey Barnes on the bench, so it's not too bad. I love the fact that even in this game, Oxford only have their 3 stands. They've got that completely away, that end of the pitch there that just has nothing on it, which is good, because it's realistic. That's how their stadium is in real life. It's Oxford, 2nd versus 3rd. We're on very good form. We are a very good team, so we should be good enough to win this. However, Oxford are also a very good team, and we're away from home. 10 minutes on the clock. Brannigan has it for Oxford, plays it backwards to Brown. Ball forward to Lee. He's going to go for a run. In the middle, not quite intercepted. And now Goodraham, is that his name? Goodraham? Goes for an effort, goes over the bar. First chance goes for Oxford. Brannigan with the corner, goes short to Rodriguez, towards the front post. Button can hold on to that one. I don't know, I don't think that was the highlight. Don't think that was the highlight at all. So, Button goes for a little walk around his penalty area. What are we going to do? Big kick over the halfway line towards Joe Hugill. Doesn't get on the end of it though. And Oxford can once again come forward with the ball. Goodraham to Stevens on the right-hand side. He's got some company. Goodraham again on the ground to Perkins. Perkins hits the post. And Andy Yeardom just calmly passes it back to the goalkeeper. Is this highlight carrying on? It's not carrying on. We have not started this very well at all. We've got a chance possibly now though. Yeardom to Aziz. Back to Yeardom. Offabra. In the middle was Abdullahi. Wrong way, guy. Wrong way. Holmes collects it. Down the right-hand side is Yeardom. Still wrong way. We had this ball very far into the Oxford half, and now we're in our own half. Burgess, he goes for a little pass forward to Makairu, collects it just about. Runner on the left-hand side, although on the left-hand side it's McIntyre, and he's not really a fullback. Aziz isn't going to get there first, but we do get it back through Yeardom. Can we get this cross in towards Hugill in the middle? He doesn't jump. He doesn't bother jumping. Abdullahi just goes on his knees. I don't know what he did there. We've actually had a shot. Yeah, apparently it was a good effort as well. We got, high XG of 0.37, but we didn't score it. Joe Hugill is on a 6.4. I imagine he's not doing very well at all. Getting into bad positions, not kind of being open enough. If he's getting the ball in shooting opportunities, he's not doing it. Things like that. It is Perkins to Lee. He's got loads of space to run into. Yeardom's with him. Oh my word, I thought we gave away a penalty then. Goodraham in the penalty area, crosses it into Perkins. Button makes the save. Goes off for a corner. We are getting very, very lucky. We are not playing well at all. Perkins steps up to take the corner then. 10 minutes left of the first half. Brannigan hits it into the first man, wins another one. Perkins again goes over to take it. This time looks like it's going to be a proper corner. It's towards Brannigan on the edge of the area. Can't quite get some space to pull the trigger. Manages to go all the way back to McGuane. And that ends the highlight. There was no highlight in that. Yeardom to Kelvin. Back to Yeardom once again. Aziz on the right-hand side. 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe in the box. Kelvin's one of them. Hugill's another. And Joe Hugill is there with his second goal for Reading. Tucks that ball away. We take the lead against the run of play. Arguably, we have not been good enough. We don't deserve this lead, but I'm very happy that we've got it. And especially if we can hold on until half-time, I will be a happy boy. We have held on until half-time, therefore, I am a happy boy. No changes at half-time. That goal, obviously, for Hugill has just bumped up his rating to a 7.1 from a 6.4. He was not playing well at all, and that seems to hopefully have turned his game around. On the hour mark already, nothing's really happening in the second half. We are going to do some changes. It is going to be Makairu coming off. Leai is going to come on that left-hand side. McIntyre as well. They're saying Charlie Savage. Can Charlie Savage play as a left wing back or a left back? I think he can. We're doing it. I mean, he can't, but we're doing it anyway. He's a wing back on defend. If I concede a goal now because of Charlie Savage, I'm not going to be happy. Speak of the devil, here is Charlie Savage, son of Robbie. Where are you going to go? To Leai in the middle, finds Holmes. Ball forward to Offenborough. Ball over towards Leai on that left-hand side. Crosses it in. It's up in the air. Hugill's there. It's fallen to Aziz, and Femi Aziz doubles our lead. And we are hopefully going to steal these 3 points. We've still not been good enough, in my opinion, but we have taken the chances when they've fallen to us. Kelvin is struggling. He's on a 6.7. We've got Nibs on the subs bench, which I think we're going to do now. Kelvin off, Harvey Nibs coming on. Do we want to do any other changes? We can do another stoppage, so it's not too bad if we want to do another one. I'm thinking Samoa's going to come on, probably for Tom Holmes at some point, but right now, we're just going to stick with what we got. Final 10 minutes, still 2-0 to the good, looking very good. Oxford look like, I mean, they've deserved a goal, haven't they? When you look at their XG, they've definitely deserved a goal. We are going to do that Holmes for Simeu substitution as well. No more subs. We're done. We can't do any more, even if we wanted to. It's a corner. Perkins takes it towards the middle. It's more? Did that say more? Heads over the bar. Doesn't matter. It is still 2-0 to Reading. And this is looking likely. We are going to pick up 3 very, very valuable points. It's the 95th minute, 94th minute. Rodriguez, he's been kicked by Leai. It's a penalty in the 95th minute. Luckily, we've got a 2-goal lead. Luckily, we have this 2-goal lead, because if this was a 1-goal lead, I'd be fuming right now. Brannigan steps up. David Button goes the right way, but it's into the bottom corner. There is probably not enough time for them to score an equaliser, but Football Manager doing Football Manager things, it's possible. But thankfully, that has not happened. It is a 2-1 win away from home against Oxford. They deserved more. They deserved a point out of that game. Arguably, they deserved to win that game. It went our way. It actually went our way. It very rarely goes my way in Football Manager. And with that win as well, we go 12 games unbeaten since the end of November. 10 away. Unbeaten away run reaches 10 games. That's what I'm literally trying to read it and can't read it. We have been superb. That was a derby match as well. I think it's like the M4 derby is that one. 3 points behind Bolton still, so they won their game. Who were they playing? They were playing Barnsley. They beat Barnsley 2-0. So we are still very close. If we did not have that point deduction, we would be top of the table right now. It's frustrating, but that's kind of the challenge that we took on when we took over Reading. So that is going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we're not going to go very far at all. We're going to jump forward to just the Portsmouth game here, and then we'll also play Wycombe and Bristol Rovers in the EFL Trophy semi-final, and then we'll have an episode 4, which will be the end of the season, which will hopefully involve us getting promoted and winning the EFL Trophy, but I guess we'll find out next episode if that's likely to happen. With just over 2 months left of the season, things are looking pretty good. We are now currently top of the table. We have got, I think it's about 10 games left to play. 10, 11 league games left to play. In today's episode, we're going to be playing Derby, Wycombe and Bristol Rovers in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy semi-final. Or the Johnson's Paint Trophy, because I'm going to call it that every single time. So in between episodes, we have played a total of 5 games. We lost the opening match of those against Charlton, a 1-0 defeat, but then we returned to winning ways with a 5-2 win against Fleetwood. Against Portsmouth, we win 2-1, a match that I was supposed to do on camera, and then saw the fixtures further down and went, actually, those are probably better ones to show. We beat Leyton Orient 4-1. We drew 1-1 with Shrewsbury, but the key thing is we are currently top of the table, 3 points clear of Bolton, and I think Bolton have kind of slipped up, basically. That's kind of the issue. They lost against Blackpool. That was one of the reasons. I think we've kind of just about got there, thanks to a couple of victories and a couple of slip-ups from Bolton. So it's third versus first. It's Derby County away from home. It's going to be Button in goal and Benge, Holmes, Burgess and Penny in defence. Penny is making his first appearance for Reading. He has played, I think he played in the Bristol Street, the Johnson's Paint Trophy. It's the Johnson's Paint Trophy. It will always be the Johnson's Paint Trophy. It's going to be Abdullah and Savage in midfield, Basil Tumer on the right, Makairu on the left, Hugo and Ballard leading the lines for this one. Ballard, in real life, has just picked up a pretty serious injury, which kind of sucks, but for us, he's got 18 goals so far this season. He's doing ridiculous, and Kelvin is on 14. Sorry, Big Kelvin. So I think this match here, realistically, is kind of key, isn't it? It's kind of important for our season. If we want to win the league, if we want to get promoted, we do need to make sure that we win these types of games, because a defeat will not only drop 3 points, but will bring Derby straight into that title fight as well. Almost 20 minutes played and literally no highlights at all. Derby have had 3 shots. We've now had 2 shots. We've got a lot of possession, but nothing to show for it. Literally nothing. Until now, just before the half-hour mark, Joe Hugill collects it back to Tom Holmes. He's going to go off to the left-hand side. Burgess goes for a run, maybe not. Penny on the left. What can we see from the new signing, Makaru? Lovely little run past the ball there. Crosses the ball in. Back post is Basil. Doesn't go for it, though, because Basil, he's 5'6". He's not going to win a header that is basically being challenged by literally anybody apart from a toddler. Savage really was not paying enough attention there, and Sibley can come forward. Waghorn with a bit of space goes for goal. Was that a save? I don't think it was a save. I think he just hit it wide. Corner for Derby, though, from the other side. Conor Hurricane is the man going over to take it. Left-footed towards the front post. Charlie Savage clears. Leonard's going to keep it alive, though. Hurricane again, back to Leonard, back to Hurricane, crosses it in, he actually goes for goal himself, and it is saved by David Button. Derby with another chance from the corner. They are having a good bit of possession, and it's kind of concerning. Waghorn doesn't quite get there. Savage is doing very well from corners, isn't he? Hugill kicks Leonard, somehow nicks the ball, I'm fine with that. Ryan Niambe to Sibley, highlight ends. Another one begins, though, with another decent chance or a decent position, and Sonny Bradley gets his 6th goal of the season. Derby County take the lead, and we have not really shown anything at all in this match. I was very tempted to do some subs, but then I realised we're still in the first half. So we're going to hold on for the moment. Ballard and Hugill struggling. Hugill is doing better, I'd say, but Ballard, he's just tired. Leonard's in on goal. Button makes the save. Leonard was definitely offside anyway. We're going to see the free kick as well. Button is the man to take it. And Mbenge on the right with a bit of space into Abdullahi. Down the line, no, back to Mbenge instead. He's going to go for a run. Basil's there, tries to find him, does pass it to Basil. Can he get his cross in the middle? 2, 3, 4 purple shirts. Makairu is one of them. Savage is going to hopefully keep this highlight alive. We've got Penny making a run. Savage goes back to Burgess. We've not seen anything that I would deem highlight worthy just yet. Tommy Holmes, right-hand side's Mbenge. That's what we want to see. Basil's going for a run. Go on, Basil. Down the line, and Mbenge does use Basil. 2 in the box. On the ground is Joe Hugill. Ballard's there as well for the rebound. He tucks the ball away, but I'm pretty sure he was offside from the Hugill effort. I don't like the fact that Ballard and Hugill are on 6.4s and 6.5s, and I don't think they're doing badly. It's just they seem to be offside all the time. Can we even see? I assume we can probably see. Much better performance in the second half, please. We are going to take off Ballard, which might be a strange thing to do. And we're going to do... do we do Jamari Clark? I think we do Jamari, you know. I think we do Jamari. Kelvin's not particularly match fit. We can bring him on a bit later on in the game as well. 2 changes as well for Derby at half-time, which surprises me. One of them is Colin Horihan coming off, and I'm not quite sure who the second one was. Waghorn's got the ball in the penalty area. Sibley's there. And immediately in the second half, Derby County double their lead. What's going on? Our defence have decided to not show up by the looks of it. Every single one of them's on a 6.4. Hugill with a headed effort goes over the bar of Wildsmith. Stays 2-0 to Derby. Another good chance goes our way, and we get nothing from it. Throw for Penny to Makairu, who's now P. Makairu. But is there a second one on the pitch? Basil Tumer's there, and the 5'6" winger has just scored another header. He had no right to score that goal. No right whatsoever. Who is this man? Number 14. Ogbeta, you should have done better, mate, because he's 5'6". Well, we're still not out of this game just yet. Hugill needs to come off. He is struggling big time. So we're going to do Kelvin coming on. Do we do some changes in defence? We're going to do Burgess for Simeo or McIntyre. We're going to do Simeo, I think. And then we're also going to do Mbenge for Yeardom. So we've done quite a lot of changes. Still one more to go if we want to do it. But that is quite a few rolls of the dice. Final 20 minutes, and a draw wouldn't be the end of the world. Derby have been playing very well. Their XG is nearly 3 at the moment, and they've only got 2 goals to show for it. So we're doing a good job, or at least Button is doing a good job. Problem is, our XG is nearly 2, and we've only got 1 goal to show for ourselves. Thompson back to Taylor. Put some pressure on. Is that Kelvin, or is it Clark? I'm not quite sure. It's one of the 2 strikers. Anyway, Forsyth with the ball goes for a little wander towards the right-hand side. In the middle is Thompson. Left-hand side finds Ogbeta, who really should have stopped the goal from Basil Tumer. Abdullahi back to Yeardom. Can we build some form of attack of our own? No, we can't, because we've just lumped the ball upfield to absolutely nobody. And Martin Waghorn should have made it 3-1. Sorry, they have had 10 shots on target and scored twice. We are struggling. Savage is playing poorly and he's ready for bed. So that is going to be our final change. It's going to be McIntyre coming on, swapping you 2 round. And we've got 5 minutes to try and find an equaliser. I don't think it's going to happen at all. In fact, it's not going to happen. We've got 4 minutes of injury time, no highlights whatsoever to talk about. And Derby County have picked up 3 very valuable points for them. And that's a frustrating performance. We did all right on the face of it. If you ignore their stats, that's a good performance. 12 shots, 5 on target, 1.32 XG, a goal as well. Problem is, Derby were just better than us, had more chances, more shots, and ultimately more goals. However, because that was a midweek game, we do still stay top of the table. Even if Bolton win their match, it's unlikely they're going to overturn that massive difference in goal difference. But if we lose another match or 2, Bolton can quite easily jump over us. Who are they playing next? Nobody. Nope, they're playing Cambridge, who are rock bottom of the table. So Bolton, probably going to win that. We're going to play this one off camera, and we're going to return for the next match, which is going to be Wycombe, who are 9th. So they're still pretty good as well. Right, back for match number 2 then against Wycombe Wanderers. We did just beat Carlisle 2-0 in the last match. Kelvin with a brace in this one, which means he's now on 16 goals for the season. He's going to be Button in goal, Yeardom, Holmes, Burgess and Guinness Walker in defence. Offenborough and Savage in midfield with Tuma, Makaru, Ballard and Kelvin leading the lines. You'll see a certain Lewis Graben on the subs bench. You've not seen him for a while, by the way. He's been injured since Christmas. Literally Boxing Day, he got injured. And he's missed 3, maybe 4 months worth of football. He's available to play 45 minutes. He will be probably coming off the bench when Ballard or Kelvin are getting a bit tired. In between the matches as well, we did get a news article saying that our chairman is looking to step aside, which, if that happens in real life, would be a very good bit of business and a very good bit of news for Reading and their fans and players and staff. However, it's the 3rd time we've had this piece of news in game, and he's still there. So he might move at some point, hopefully by the end of the season. It is Wycombe Wanderers with the ball, 13 minutes on the clock. Armitage, ball on the ground to, was that Vokes? It is Vokes, finds Vincent Young on that left-hand side, kind of gets cross away, hits it straight in to Yeardom. Cross comes in still though, Holmes is there, doesn't get on the end of it. Freddie Potts makes it 1-0, his first goal of the season. We're losing to Wycombe Wanderers. They're blaming Holmes for that as well. I mean, I don't think it's Holmes' fault. Yes, he did miss the header, but also sometimes you don't win headers. Is this going to be another one of those matches that just nothing happens? We're half an hour in, there's been 3 shots and 1 goal. It is Wycombe Wanderers coming forward with the ball. Ballard with a little kick on somebody there. Offenborough finds Kelvin. Ballard's carried on his run. Charlie Savage back to Kelvin. Makaru on the left-hand side. Ballard needs to stay on side. Makaru tries to get some space for himself. Arguably, it was the best decision to do that because Don Ballard was constantly offside in that entire highlight. Problem is, Makaru's now just taken an absolute battering in his rating. He's down to a 6.3 because he should have passed, according to the match engine. 1 minute and 40 seconds of injury time left to play of the first half. Basil Tuma collects it, who's taken a bit of a knock at some point in this first half. Tuma on the right-hand side. Stops and passes back to Yeardom. On the ground to Offenborough. Needs to get some space for himself, really. Going the wrong way, aren't you, mate? Tom Holmes, can you make amends? It's Yeardom. Back to Holmes. Ball forward, please, would be lovely. Holmes again. Now Offenborough. Forward. Wrong way, guys. We have got, a minute and 5 now to play of injury time. Burgess. Down the left towards Makaru. Guinness Walker's there. Makaru's got some space if he wants to pass to him. Does eventually find Makaru. Crosses the ball in. Kelvin's there. And Big Kelvin rises highest. Gets his 17th goal of the season. We equalise in injury time. And that has cheered me up a little bit. And that was actually the last highlight of the first half. So we go in at a 1-1 draw. I don't like what I saw. We're still not playing well. Defensively, we're not doing great. Makaru, Offenborough and Kelvin, the only players really standing up and making a name for themselves. Savage on a 6.8 is arguably getting close. He's now on a 6.9 apparently. The second half has been about as interesting as the first half. We are an hour in and we've seen nothing at all in the second half. We've got a highlight though. Tuma needs to come off. I've just seen his fitness is pretty bad. Speaking of Tuma, cross comes in. Makaru's there. Makaru hits the post. And we do not gamble enough to manage to get that ball in the back of the net. And the highlight ends as well. Right, let's do some changes then. Tuma off, Aziz on, Ballard off, Graben on. We're also going to do Burgess off, Simeu on. I think that's all we're going to do. By the way, I keep playing Simeu because he's out of contract at the end of the season. And if he's good, I kind of want to bring him to the club because I feel like he's got some potential. He's relatively young still. Problem is, in Football Manager, he never gets game time, so he never ever fulfills that potential. So I'm thinking giving him game time is hopefully going to allow that to happen. Whilst I'm talking, very little's gone on. We've got highlight through Aziz on the right-hand side, 2 in the middle, plays it back to Yeardom in the middle to Offenborough, across to Charlie Savage, goes for goal. It's saved by Idem in the Wycombe goal. Probably shouldn't have gone for a long-range effort there, mate. It's a corner. Makaru steps up to take it. A draw here is not good. It's really not good. Makaru's corner comes in. Kelvin's at the back post. But Idem comes out, easily claims that one as well. 5 minutes left to play of regular time plus injury time. Nothing's really happening. I'm going to demand more. I mean, I've taken so long to work out where the demand more button is. It was a bit too little too late. It's a 1-1 draw against Wycombe. Not a good performance. Not a good performance at all. We are not taking our chances at the moment. So we do still stay top of the table. And I think, oh my word, Bolton drew. Hold on, what's going on here? Bolton Bolton drew with Cambridge when we beat Carlisle. Okay, and then Bolton won and we lost. Or drew, sorry. So we've kind of equalised ourselves. We're still 3 points clear. They've still got that game in hand. We are now going to go forward to match number 3 of this episode, which is going to be in the Johnson's Paint Trophy, or the Papa John's Trophy, or the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. I don't know what one it's called nowadays. It's the Johnson's Paint. So we've gone for a bit of rotation with the Johnson's Paint Trophy match. It's going to be Button in goal still. Not a huge amount of rotation. Yeardom, McIntyre, Burgess and Guinness Walker in defence. I do this every now and then. We're going to go for Offenborough and Abdullah midfield. Makaru and Leai on the wings. Ballard and Graben leading the lines for this one. I say a little bit of rotation. He's literally... We've brought in Leai, haven't we? We've brought in Leai and Graben. This is basically a normal starting 11. And I'm perfectly fine with that, by the way, because I feel like we are good enough to win this trophy. And if you told me that we win a trophy in our first season at Reading, I wouldn't have believed you. Especially as we could possibly win 2 if we win the league as well. I don't know who else is in the other Johnson's Paint Trophy semi-final, but we just need to focus on our job. Leai collects this ball, the Solomon Islander, back to Abdullah. It's a bit of a kick clash, or is that just me? Martin intercepts it, not very good there. And now Brown can go for a little run to Rossiter, off to the right-hand side. Thomas collects it on the wing, goes towards goal, cross comes in. Giovanni Brown's there for his 14th goal of the season. And once again, we've conceded a goal. I do not know what is going on at the moment. I really have no idea. We just seem to give away stupid goals. Just out of nothing, just giving away a goal. Elsewhere, even though we're not really focusing on the league at the moment in this match, Bolton are beating Oxford United 1-0, which means they will go joint on points because this is their game in hand. Yeardom collects the ball for us 25th minute towards McIntyre. Burgess on the left-hand side. Where are we going? Just pass to him, mate. It's fine. Leai nicks the ball away. Good tackle from the youngster. Burgess's ball forward is not very good once again. I think your day might be done, mate. You've done 2 misplaced passes in one highlight. Leai, down the line, finds Lewis Graben. Probably shouldn't be playing him either. He's got about 45 minutes in the tank, and that's all we can really use him for. Burgess to Guinness Walker. Now Abdullah on the halfway line. Offenborough to Ballard. We've got a runner through Makaru in the middle. Playing on the opposite wing today. His effort is not the best. Goes over the bar. And immediately into a highlight for Bristol Rovers down the other end. I mean, how did we get to this situation? Thomas back to Hall on the ground. Find Woods. Thomas, loads and loads of space. And I'm not quite sure how they haven't scored a goal there. Guinness Walker's given away a penalty. What? He went in too hard on Luke Thomas, apparently. I didn't see what he did. He just stood there by the looks of it. Collins steps up then. Go the right way, David. He doesn't go the right way. Well, he does, but he doesn't get anywhere near the ball. We're 2-0 down against Bristol Rovers. Yeardom with a throw. Seconds after their second goal. Back to Yeardom. Crosses it in on the ground. It's cleared. And this is a counter-attack, isn't it? Brown collects it for Bristol. If this goes 3-0, this is game over. Martin down the left-hand side. Keeps going down the wing. In the middle to Giovanni Brown. Loses out to Yeardom, but Martin's there to nick the ball away. Rossiter to Hall. It's all Bristol Rovers. It is all Bristol Rovers. It takes a little deflection. Javari? It's Javari Brown's effort. It's been kicked wide by Offenborough. It's going to be a corner. Woods is the man to take it as well. On the right-footed number 15. Get this ball clear. Get it down the line. Get a counter-attack going. Here we go. Dommy Ballard. On the right-hand side. Just stops for some reason. Lets somebody get a little bit closer to him. Makaru's first touch is horrendous. And that ends the highlight. I think we might be throwing a water bottle at half-time here. Because we are playing horrific. Martin with the ball for Bristol goes straight through the middle. His effort was easily saved. And we are now Woods with a corner for Bristol. Towards the front post, Abdullah clears it straight to a blue and white shirt though. Gets the ball back. It's taken a wicked deflection. And Giovanni Brown makes it 3-0 to Bristol Rovers after 37 minutes. I do not know what is going on with this performance. Like, this is horrendous. Berate the entire team. We've had one shot, apparently, at some point. We haven't seen it, but we had a shot. What is going on? So I think it's time to throw the water bottle. However, my assistant, Andrew Sparks, I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say there. That's... Andrew, should have listened to you. Sorry, buddy. Your defensive performance has been unacceptable. Not happy with that. I'm not happy with your finishing. I've turned it around. Don't worry, we're fine. Bristol are taking the piss. They've just taken off Brown after he scored twice and gone, he's done his job. We don't need to do any more. We've won this game. It's 3-0. It is Kramer with the ball to Woods. Offenborough intercepts it. Yeardom needs to get there first, keeping it in play as well. Good. Offenborough, here we go. Ball upfield to Don Ballard. Need some runners. Going the wrong way, guys. Oh my word, what is happening? Guinness Walker back to Button. We need an early goal. Like, this is not a case of, it'll be nice to get an early goal. We need an early goal because we need to score 3 in 45 minutes. Yeardom to Ballard. Offenborough in the middle. Goes forward, finds Ballard again. Makairu's on the right-hand side with some space. Offenborough's going to keep going with the ball, though. He's lost out. He's just lost out. He's our best player on the pitch as well, and he's just lost the ball, just out of absolutely nothing. Thomas on the right-hand side for Bristol Rovers, on the ground to Rossiter. Edge of the area, finds Collins, it's 4-0. I don't know what we do here. I genuinely have no idea, because this isn't tactical. We've played the same tactic for the entire season. This is just players who've gone, can't be bothered, can we? We're 4-0 down. David Button's on a 6.0, so he's just decided to not save anything. Yeardom's on a 6.2, so he's decided to not do anything either. Burgess is playing poorly. Guinness Walker is playing poorly. Makairu's playing poorly. Leai's playing poorly. Graben's playing poorly. Makairu's gone for goal. It's gone over the bar. Right, 5 subs then, I guess. Starting with David Button. Joel Pereira is going to be coming on. Leai's coming off for Aziz. Makairu's coming off for Basil. We're going to do Graben coming off for Kelvin. And we've got one more to do, so it's going to be Burgess. It's not Burgess. It's going to be Yeardom for Bengay. So, 5 subs. There's plenty of time. Go out there and do a thing. There's not plenty of time, guys. We've got 40 minutes to score 4 goals, maybe 5. Just before the hour mark, so the subs have come on, but they've been on the pitch for literally seconds at this point. Woods has the ball for Bristol Rovers. Gordon goes for a little run, gets some space for himself as well. Woods with some space, finds Hall. He's a right back if he scores. It's ridiculous. It's 5-0. This is the worst performance I've ever seen in Football Manager. I'm not even joking. This is the worst performance I've ever seen. We've done so well to get to this point in the Cup as well. I know it's the Johnson's Paint Trophy and nobody really cares about it, but people do care about it. Teams like Reading don't get the chance to win anything, so this is a trophy that they can win. And we've just put in this performance. Arguably it's not a performance, is it? Well, that was absolutely horrendous. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to walk away. Just going to click continue. Because what do you even say at that point? We lose 5-0. We were 3-0 down at half time. Luckily, we're still top of the table because Bolton didn't score 63 goals. But that, when you look at how well we've done all season, and then the 3 matches in this episode, what's happened? What has gone on in those 3 matches? Now, even though it was a cup game, we can't find David Button, can we? But we can kind of warn him. Last game, horrendous. Your passing, your goalkeeping, it's just not good, mate. You ended on 6.0. Well, I've just had a conversation with Andy Yeardom, and it has kind of not gone well. I've criticised him, he's gone, I don't think you're right, mate. You got 6.1, you got 6.1 mush. I don't know what you're on about. I feel like this one might be a bit harsh, because he doesn't play a huge amount. You were poor. Your passing was bad. Fair enough. Okay, sure. Well, we're out of the cups then. We've got, 8 league games left to play. We're going to have one more episode in this season, which is going to include the Bolton game, and it's probably going to include 2 more matches of those ones. So we're going to play Cambridge off camera, Bristol Rovers off camera. We'll beat them 5-0, I reckon, when we play them off camera, and then Northampton as well. 3 matches that we should win, realistically. That one I'm not convinced about anymore. And then, we'll be back for the Bolton game, first versus second. That could be a title decider by the time we get to it. With 5 games left to play of the season, we are currently sat top of League One, 4 points clear of Derby and 4 points clear of Bolton in 3rd place. We're going to find out where we're going to finish in today's episode and whether there's going to be an episode 5 of Season 1, because technically we can finish in the playoffs. Hope we don't. In between episodes, we have played just the 3 matches after the absolute shambolic performance against Bristol Rovers. We beat Cambridge 2-0, we beat Bristol Rovers 2-0. In the league, why couldn't we have done that in the Cup? I mean, arguably, the league's probably better. And then a 1-0 defeat against Northampton, not ideal. Picking up 2 injuries as well. Basil Tuma and Joe Hugill, both missing some matches. Straight into the Bolton game then. This is a must-win game. It is 1st versus 3rd. but it is effectively first versus second. It's going to be Button in goal and Benge, Holmes, Burgess and McIntyre in defence, with Abdullah and Savage in midfield, Aziz and Makairu on the wings, Ballard and Graben leading the lines. You can see we've got some injuries. We're missing Andy Eardon, we're missing Chuma, we're missing Hugo and Kelvin. Leai a bit tired, Offerborough a bit tired, Guinness Walker a bit tired. We are quite a small squad. All things considered, we are quite a small squad, and when things don't go our way, we kind of have to start rotating a little bit, arguably too much. Although that is how we managed to play Basil Chuma, and he's turned into a really good player for us in Season 1. So last episode was not good, really, was it? In terms of results, it was not good. I imagine it was probably quite entertaining, particularly the Bristol Rovers game. But in terms of results, we didn't get a huge amount going our way. So we need to make sure that we get some results going our way in this episode, because if we don't, we are going to be dropping down into the playoffs. We are guaranteed to finish at least in the playoffs, but obviously we want to be going up as champions, but I'll take second place if we have to. Holmes with the ball, just 1 minute and 40 on the clock. Aziz, he's got a runner in and Benge on the right-hand side. Graben, I think it is in the middle, making a bit of a run. We've got Ballard as well. Cross comes in, Graben is there, and the old man doesn't quite get on the end of it. McIntyre to Charlie Savage, tries to get some space, can't quite manage it. McIntyre again, 3 in the box, crosses in. Aziz is at the back post. Aziz rises highest, heads over the bar. First chance goes our way, but it wasn't a particularly good one. We do probably need to keep an eye on what Derby are doing. I don't know whether they're even playing. They are 2-0 up against Portsmouth after literally 10 minutes, so not ideal. We need to make sure that Derby keep losing their games. We are going to stay top anyway, even if we lose against Bolton, but that gap will potentially drop to just 1 point. Final few minutes of the first half, 38 minutes on the clock. Jones to Cundy. Dempsey's first touch is not the best. Graven's tackle, not the best either. Charles is in on goal, and I feel like Charles is going to score. He doesn't. David Button gets down, stops that one from going in, concedes the corner though, which we are going to see. Number 16 is Morley from the right-hand side. Crosses it in towards the middle. Big head clear from Burgess. Arguably too expensive central defender that we bought. Morley cross comes in again. McIntyre clears. Aziz isn't going to quite get there. Is this highlight going to carry on? It probably could have done, but instead, what are we doing defensively there? It's a free kick to Reading. Okay, I thought we gave away a penalty then. Also, that wasn't a highlight, was it? There was no highlight involved in that. We are struggling fitness-wise. We are really struggling fitness-wise. We're not even doing anything in this match at all. We need to be better in front of goal, and by in front of goal, get in front of goal, I guess, would be step 1. Looking at fitness, and Benge needs to come off. We've only got Hutchinson. I don't want to play a 34-year-old Sam Hutchinson as our right back, because he can't run. Very good mentally, can take a long throw, but he can't run. I'm thinking Simeo. I'm thinking it might be Simeo coming on as that right back. He can kind of play it, not particularly well, but he can kind of do it. I've just seen as well, we've got Makairu on a 6.4. We're going to keep him on at the moment. We don't really have the options on the subs bench. Maybe Nibs can come on for Makairu. Maybe do a bit of rearranging. Stick Ballard on the wing. And maybe Ballard can play on the wing. Makairu's dropped down to a 6.2. So, just before the hour mark, that is your day done. Harvey Nibs can play on the right-hand side. Good. That's what we want to do. Graben as well is going to come off for Jamari Clark. Nothing's happening. Neither us or Bolton are really doing anything at all in this match. A 0-0 draw, not ideal, but it is away from home. Cundy's first touch is not the best. Savage clears it straight to a Bolton shirt, though. John on the left-hand side, in the middle to Morley, putting some pressure on. Who is this man? He's gigantic. It is Abdullah. He's absolutely massive. Have I only just noticed that? Magoma's ball forward to Dan Unlandulu, gets past his man, and Dan Unlandulu gets the second goal of the season. He is their lead striker, and he scored twice. I say he's their lead striker. He's not, but, he's one of their best strikers, technically, and he doesn't score goals. He doesn't do it in real life, either. Final 20 minutes, and this is not going to be a good result at all. Demand more. We're not doing anything. Aziz needs to come off. Ballard needs to come off as well. We've got a corner in the 80th minute. Portsmouth Derby is 4-3 currently to Derby. Savage's cross comes in. Burgess is there. Doesn't get on the end of it. Nibs is there. Baxter doesn't need to save it. It's a goal kick. Final rolls of the dice then. Hutchinson and Wing coming on. Hutchinson as I guess that one probably makes more sense, as the ball in the midfielder. Lewis Wing on the wing. Can't play there, but we don't have any other right wingers or any wingers on the subs bench anymore. I feel like this is going to be a defeat. Portsmouth have just taken the lead against Derby. I mean, that's arguably a good thing, isn't it? It's just going to be us and Bolton, 1 point between us, but Derby look like they've lost. I shouldn't be happy about this because we've lost 1-0 to Bolton Unlandulu with the only goal of the game. Not a very good game either. But there is only one team that can kind of catch us. I mean, there's 4 games left to play. Most teams can probably catch us. So with that win, Bolton secure themselves a playoff spot, which is probably understandable. Derby are probably a couple of points away from getting it. We now have to go and play Lincoln in just 5 days' time. And I think we're going to have to do that one on camera as well. Because if we lose that one, Lincoln suddenly join this battle. And we don't want a 4th team involved in this. And we are going to have to give rest to quite a lot of players, which I don't like doing this, but we're going to do 2-day rest for pretty much everyone who started that game. For the Lincoln game then, obviously, because we've done a bit of resting of players, we have got some players back from their injuries. Button keeps his place in goal with Yeardom returning to the starting 11. Holmes, Burgess and Guinness Walker as well returning to the starting 11. Abdullah and Savage in the middle. Aziz and Makairo on the wings. Ballard and Graben leading the lines. We kind of need to win this one. And by kinda, we definitely need to win this one. My team talk then to the team was basically saying, I'm sick and tired of us losing games all the time. They're only on camera. We've won 2 matches off camera recently. We don't need to worry about what Bolton are doing because they are not playing today, but Derby are playing and I think they've already taken the lead. We've got an early chance, possibly going our way. 5 minutes on the clock. Makairo to Burgess, edge of the penalty area, tries to get some space. Charlie Savage to Holmes. I mean, we've got our centre-backs up, which is not ideal. Yeardom needs to go forward, really into the middle is where you want to be going. Abdullah to Charlie Savage to Lewis Graben. Don Ballard's in on goal and Ballard surely has to score. Tucks the ball away in off the bottom of the post and it's not going to count because he's offside. Oh, that's annoying. That is really annoying. Also, Derby are 1-0 up. 2 minutes on the clock there. Conor Hurricane from the penalty spot. And sure, let's have another injury, shall we? Jamari Clark is going to come on. Nibs is arguably the sensible choice, but he's going to be coming on probably for Aziz or Makairo when inevitably one of them starts playing badly. Do we swap you two around as well? Yes, we do. Don Ballard as that advance forward. That's what we want to be seeing. Goals from Don Ballard. Corner for Charlie Savage to take from the right towards Jamari Clark at the front post. Doesn't quite get on the end of it. Savage's first touch is not good. Ball is cleared upfield. Are we going to get there? Anyone going to get there wearing a Reading shirt? It would be lovely. Yeardom with it. On the ground to Abdullah. Back to Holmes. So far, no highlights really taken place, so something might be coming from this. Savage just inside the centre circle. Back to Burgess. We're passing it, which is not really what we should be doing. Savage towards Don Ballard. Back to Savage again. We've got some runners. Ballard again gets this ball. What are we doing? We're just going all over the place. Yeardom probably pass it back to a centre-back. Charlie Savage with some space tries to curl it in. Smithies palms the ball off for a corner. Derby have doubled their lead against Wycombe Wanderers. It is Makairo to take the corner towards no one, really. Towards absolutely no one. Aziz to Makairo keeps this one alive, hopefully. Has he handled that or he's offside? He was offside. What a clown. Derby have now made it 3-0 in their game against Wycombe Wanderers, so let's not worry too much about what they're doing. If they win and we lose, it means they go within 1 point of us. Aziz with it. Goes off towards the right-hand side. 3, 4, maybe in the box. Ballard is 1. Smithies with a superb save. Ballard has missed apparently a sitter there. Not ideal. He's also miles offside, so he's not going to score from that one either. Ballard's dropped down to a 6.4. He's not playing badly. He's just missed a chance, really. He's missed one really good chance. He's now jumped up to a 6.7 for some reason. And that looks like it is going to draw to a close the end of the first half. 0-0. Not good. Not good at all. The fans expect to win. Don't let them down. I don't like what I've seen. That's what I want to be saying to them, because I don't like what I've seen, because we've not really seen much. And what we have seen is us basically squandering really good chances. Lincoln with the ball coming forward, or maybe not, we've nicked it. Burgess with a yellow card, which is a concern, especially because he was the one to nick the ball there, and he could have quite easily just took the player instead. Guinness Walker to Savage. First time we've seen Guinness Walker, and it's taken 48 minutes for him to actually touch the ball on camera. Burgess goes for a wander into the Lincoln half. In the middle is Abdullah. Ball forward to Jamari Clark. Ballard made a run, but he didn't want to go for a weird back heel, I guess, is probably what he would have tried. Abdullah, he's got a runner in Yeardom, does eventually use him. Now Aziz is in on goal. Aziz's effort is stopped by Smithies. He's offside anyway. How many times are we going to be offside in this? We've got an XG of 1.23, and we've got nothing to show for it, and we've probably had 3 good chances that haven't counted, which I think won't go into the XG. Corner for Makairo. This is a game we should be winning. With the performance we're putting in, we should be winning this. But Alex Smithies has decided that he's actually going to be the best goalkeeper in the world by the looks of things. Wanders round his penalty area then. 63rd minute. Monsmer to Egan Riley, back to Smithies. He's probably going to score, isn't he? He's playing so well at the moment. TJ Oyoima to that man's name, Hannon, could be his name. Smithies again, getting his pass accuracy up. That's what we like to see. Sorensen back to Smithies. Ball upfield. Savage should be getting that and does. Good. Right, now we can do something. One goal should be enough for us to win this game. Through to Ballard. Ballard's effort cannot be stopped this time. The flag stays down. We take the lead. It's taken 64 minutes for us to take the lead in this game. And we should be maybe 3 or 4-0 up. That goal could be a season-defining moment for us. We are going to do some changes. Yeardom is coming off for Simeo on as a right-back who can apparently naturally play there after playing about 20 minutes there in the last match. We're going to do Savage as well for Offerborough and work out what way round. That way, apparently. I'm also looking at Burgess, but we will keep him on for now. Maybe sort of as we get close to, say, 80 minutes, we'll bring Burgess off as well, because that yellow card is worrying me. And we've almost hit that 80, so now is the time. McIntyre is going to come on. We've got one more sub to do, and I'm tempted. It's going to be Aziz, isn't it? Aziz for Nibs. We knew it was going to happen. There we go then. Final 10 minutes of the match. 1-0 so far. Maybe we can double our lead here. Here we go. Tommy Holmes. Number 5 is off to the left. Abdullah gets it back to Holmes, though. Ball forward, please. Ball forward, please. There we go. Offerborough. Right-hand side is Simeo. Not really a right-back, is he? He's trying his best. Bless him. He's tried to find Jamari Clark, and it has fallen for Jamari Clark. And Smithies has made another ridiculously good save. Makairu's gone over to take the corner then. From the left, right-footed. Where are we going to go? There's no one really there at the front post, so it's gone towards Jamari Clark at the back. Walker's going to get on the end of this. Is this going to be a counter-attack chance for Lincoln? Walker goes off down that left-hand side, gets past his man as well. Nibs is there, though, just about covering. Hannon to Moylan. McIntyre clears. Somebody was offside. That's going to end the highlight. We kind of got a bit lucky there. Alex Smithies is on a 7.3 rating at the moment for Lincoln. If he wasn't playing so well, we would have won this about 3 or 4-0. Nibs to Holmes, ball forward to Offerborough. Not the best pass. Nibs again now finds Simeo on the right-hand side. 4-5 possible options in the middle. It's managed to find its way to the best goalkeeper in the world. Cleared upfield. Controlled by Guinness Walker, though, for us. Makairu wasn't paying attention, was he? Didn't look like he was paying attention, but still managed to get the ball. Offerborough back to Abdullah. Ball forward to Jamari Clark, and Smithies makes his 63rd save of the match. Makairu goes over to take the corner then. We are about to enter injury time. This 1-goal lead is worrying. I'm nervous with this just a 1-goal lead at the moment. Makairu's cross comes in. Clark's at the back post. Doesn't bother jumping. It's cleared. Offerborough is going to hopefully keep this one alive, maybe. Ball upfield. Finds Abdullah. Now Clark. Right-hand side, some options. He's spun and gone the wrong way and gone for a long-range effort. And Smithies fumbles that one. The first bad thing he's done all game, and it was an awful effort. 6 minutes of injury time. It looks like it's flying by. That is very, very good news for us. The full-time whistle goes, and we should have won that by way more than 1 goal. Alex Smithies doesn't get man of the match because Ballard gets a 7.9, but Smithies gets a 7.5. A 7.5. Did they finish the match with 10 men as well? I imagine Lloyd got injured in the 8-6, so he didn't have another sub. Fair enough. So this is the current look of the league table then after 43 games for us, but 42 for Bolton. 89 points on the board, 9 up for grabs. Now, if Bolton lose their game in hand, which is actually Bristol Rovers, so that's 5-0 to Bristol Rovers, guaranteed that one is. So if they lose their game in hand, it means they can only get 9 points maximum left, which will put them on 94 points. That has to be our target. So we need to get 2 more wins out of 3, and we should be crowned champions. We've got Barnsley next, then Burton Albion, then Blackpool. We're going to skip the Barnsley one on camera. We'll come back to see what's happened, because we might need to do Burton, or we might need to do Blackpool. Let's see what the decider actually is going to be. Whilst all of this talk of promotion's been going on, we've also had a takeover. Finally, the Reading chairman or owner or whatever has left the club. He's sold up. He's sold to a man called Jack Power, who was previously at Waterford FC, apparently. I don't know what this means. I have not clicked this. I don't think he's like a billionaire or anything like that, so I'm not expecting huge amounts of money. So we've lost a few of our directors. John Majewski's gone, fair enough. Jake Weston and a few other people have joined, fair enough. I feel like they're not going to sack me, because we are obviously top of the table at the moment. I feel like we're safe. I imagine this hasn't changed. This is probably staying all the same next season. We might see if Mr. Jack Power has any money to invest in the club. By the way, Jack Power, great name. Right, we've just played the Barnsley game and we have won this one 3-0. An own goal from Brian and then a brace from Don Ballard late on in the game. It means that we are still, 4 points clear of Bolton. They do have a game in hand because they managed to beat Portsmouth 2-0 in their match. Derby have fallen off though. With just 2 games left to play, Derby can no longer catch us, which means I think we're promoted. We are promoted thanks to Derby not winning their game, which is fine. I'm perfectly happy with that. It does now mean that we need to basically work out what match are we likely going to be crowned champions, and let's do that one on camera. So first thing, we're going to go forward to the 16th of April, just after Bristol Rovers play Bolton, because that might actually decide pretty much what's going to go on. And oh my word, that is very, very helpful. A 3-3 draw could have been better. Certainly could have been better, but that is 2 drop points for Bolton, which means we are now 3 points clear of Bolton Wanderers with no games in hand. 2 games left to play, and they are both winnable games for us. We've got Burton Albion down in 20th place, and we then have Blackpool, who are 7th. We are going to go forward. We're going to play the Burton Albion game on camera, I think, and I'm hoping if we win, that's it confirmed. If we lose, we might have match number 4 in this episode. So for the Burton Albion game then, it's going to be Button in goal, Yeardom, Holmes, Burgess and Guinness Walker, Offenborough and Savage, Aziz, Makairu, Kelvin and Ballard. We need to keep an eye on what's going on in the Bolton versus Port Vale game, because if we win and they don't, we have won the league outright. If we win and they win, then it's goal difference, and our goal difference is like 20 positive compared to theirs, so we technically kind of have won the league. And as long as we don't lose, I think we're going to be champions. Right, let's get rid of this. Let's change that to the league table so we can see exactly what is going on. Right now, we'll be 3 points clear. So if we draw and Bolton draw, we're basically champions. If we draw and Bolton win, we do need to go to the final game of the season. However, I'm hoping we just do our job. We win this game, and it is basically signed, sealed, and delivered, ready for the final game of the season, where we're technically not champions until the final whistle. And as long as we don't lose 36-0 or something ridiculous. Yeardom with the ball on the right-hand side for us. Crosses it in towards Ballard. Ballard doesn't quite get there. Makairu can keep this ball in play. Crosses in. Ballard there. And gets his 24th goal of the season. 11 minutes exactly on the clock as the ball hits the back of the net. He is going to be a massive miss for us in the Championship. He's got 24 goals for us in all competitions. And if he is not here next season, we are going to struggle. What is going on in the Port Vale versus Bolton game? Guinness Walker has a throw for us. I really want to see what's going on there, because even though we are winning, we aren't going to be crowned champions if Bolton win, even though we probably are. Aziz is in on goal, blasts it into the back of the net. That's his 8th of the season, 2-0. I feel like we might be relegating Burton Albion as well with this result, but let's not worry too much about that one. Where is it? Is it Port Vale Bolton? What's going on here? Bolton Port Vale 0-0, right at the top. Should have seen that earlier. Nothing's really happening in this match at all. It's kind of gone very, very quiet since the second goal of the game. We've got 2 minutes of injury time to play, and we are into half-time already. It's been very uneventful. It's been very, very uneventful. I think we're doing well. We can do more, I think is what I've said to them. No changes for us at half-time. Elsewhere, Bolton, Port Vale still 0-0 at the moment. It's a free kick for Burton Albion in a good position. Helm is the man to step up. That's a 5-man wall. That seems a bit ridiculous. Button palms onto the bar, and we've managed to concede a corner. Helm has gone over to take the corner as well. From the left towards Kelvin in the middle, apparently. Holmes can get the ball forward, but not very far. Still alive for Burton Albion. It's taken a couple of deflections. Kelvin apparently gets the last touch. Goes off for another corner from the opposite side. Right, we just need to get this ball clear, because I'm worried that Burton Albion are going to score, and if they do, they are suddenly going to be right back into this game. We've got a corner of our own now. 55 minutes. Kelvin's there. Doesn't quite get on the end of it. We do need to bring Kelvin off. Should only be playing 75 minutes. Cross comes in. Aziz doesn't quite get there. Kelvin gets there. Goes over the bar. Port Vale Bolton is still 0-0. Bolton must be pulling their hair out knowing that they need to win that game. Especially, they would know what's going on in this match. Don Ballard's injured. Well, we're going to do a double change up front then. Ballard and Nibs coming on. Hopefully, the title was all sealed up by the end of this match anyway, so it's not going to make a difference. We're going to miss Don Ballard possibly for the last game of the season. Final 15 minutes, and my eyes are glued to that bottom right-hand corner. Bolton 0, Port Vale 0. Still, the deadlock has yet to be broken there. We are going to do some more changes with literally 5 minutes left to play. My subs bench isn't the most exciting, so we're going to be playing Mbenge on the right-hand side, even though he's not a winger. Savage is going to come off for McIntyre. Swap you two round. I think I want to bring off Makairu, but I really don't want to bring on Hutchinson. And I feel like Holtzman can't play as a winger. However, Yeardom might be able to play as a winger, and we do that. And then we do that. Sure, we'll go with whatever I've done there. That's what we're going to go with. I'm playing 2 fullbacks as inside forwards. Offerborough with a free kick for us with a minute and a half to play. It's cleared, and it looks like Burton Albion maybe not. They're not going to get forward, are they? It's Holmes with the ball. Plays it back. Holtzman, the sub. Plays it in the middle to Burgess. We're just watching that clock tick down and hoping that Bolton don't score a goal. Yeardom's first touch is not the best, and Yeardom's second touch is superb into the bottom corner. Maybe he should be a left winger, guys. Just putting it out there. Maybe Andy Yeardom should be playing left wing. 5 minutes of injury time to play. 0-0 between Bolton and Port Vale. I think it is over. The season is over. We are champions of League One at the first time of asking. If we didn't have the -4 points to start the season, we would have ran away with this title. We would have absolutely ran away with it. But we've done the business. A 3-0 win in the final game on camera. We are going to show the start of the first match, or the next match, sorry, because I think we get a Guard of Honour now as well. So here we see, is it Yeardom? I think Yeardom might be our captain. Hopefully, raising the trophy. There it is. Reading back into the Championship at the first time of asking, and we've got new owners. Are we going to get some investment? Are we going to get some transfer budget to spend next season? Because I kind of think we need it. We don't have the best amount of depth in our squad. So unfortunately, that is the last time we're going to see Don Ballard in a Reading shirt. Unless we... I mean, it's not going to work, is it? Can we extend it for next season? Give a player a chance in the first team. I hate to break it to you, Southampton. I don't think you're going to. Purely because I feel like you've been promoted. You're top of the league. You're in the playoffs. I feel like they're not going to be playing Don Ballard up front in the Premier League. So I haven't seen a news article saying that we've had increased transfer budget. However, we've got an increased transfer budget. £3.8 million for next season. I assume that's next season. And we've got, what is that? 140,000. So what? 50,000, maybe 60,000 wage budget or so to spend. So we've got some money to do some business in Season 2. Right, we're going to go forward. We're going to go to the start of the Blackpool game where hopefully we get ourselves a Guard of Honour. Well, I'm not sure what we are going to get ourselves a Guard of Honour. I feel like we should do. Or maybe that's just in other competitions. Players aren't out on the pitch yet, so I'm still holding out hope that we're going to get a Guard of Honour. We do get ourselves a Guard of Honour. Here we are then. I've gone full strength as well because why not? Let's go full strength. The only real difference is Simeu is playing instead of Burgess because Burgess is currently out injured. I have also, after the last match, because we got promoted, a lot of the players turned around and said they want new contracts because they felt like they were being underpaid, and a lot of them wanted the sort of £15,000 a week from their £2,500 a week wage. We can't afford to do that. So yeah, our entire defence is now peed off. We're not going to watch this match, by the way, in this episode because we've obviously already seen 3 matches and it doesn't really matter what's going to go on. But Blackpool are coming forward. I feel like they're going to score. No, they're not. They headed it over the bar. We finished the match then against Blackpool with a 2-1 victory. Joe Hugill with both the goals for us, scoring the winner in the 93rd minute out of 93. So it was our turn to score a late winner in this one. Obviously, we're already champions, we know, but we have finished the season on 98 points. We managed to score 102 points if you get rid of our -4 point score as well, which is mad. Wigan actually finished in 4th place with -8, so if they had their +8, they'd be on 93. They would have gone up in 2nd place with that point score. So Wigan did a very good job as well. Obviously, we absolutely smashed it somehow. And there is a lot of news stories like this coming through saying they want to have themselves a bigger contract. £2,700 a week at the moment for Kelvin. If we offer him a new one, he's going to want 10 grand a week, which I can't justify paying him 10 grand a week, can I? I'm going to push it to 10, see what he says. He said yes. he's probably getting overpaid now. Also, in all that, you probably didn't notice, or you might have noticed, that Derby finished in second place. Bolton dropped down to third, which means they have to play in the playoffs to get into the championship. But we have done our job. Next season, then, back to the championship. And I think we need to do some investing. £3.8 million to spend. When you look at our squad, if you sort by when players' contracts are expiring, we are losing. I've realised we've got the under-21s on. There we go. We are losing all of those players. We can potentially get Hugo back. We can potentially get Simeu back. Although, Simeu's not very good. If I'm honest, Hugo, I would take back in an instant. Ballard, we're not going to get. Aziz, we might be able to. Maybe we can possibly bring him in on a permanent deal. But we are going to have a fair amount of players leaving. Lots of players as well want new contracts. Button wants a new deal. Yeardom, Holmes, Guinness Walker, and Benge. Lewis Wing's annoyed because I've transfer listed him. He wants to start more games. So we need to do some business over the summer. We've got the money to do it as well.